Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer because we are going to unpack a truly fascinating chapter today. We're demystifying a practice that's endured for thousands of years, starting out in India and now practiced by literally millions across the globe. We're jumping into Unit 5, which explores yoga, and not just as an activity, but as a completely holistic journey. So if you're ready to look past the surface and understand the true mechanics of this ancient science, well, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive right in by addressing the elephant in the room and busting what is probably the absolute biggest myth about this ancient Indian art. It's a super common misconception that yoga is simply a form of physical exercise. Most of us see yoga advertised on social media or at the local gym, and we just assume it's all about contorting our bodies into these really difficult shapes or stretching out our hamstrings or just getting a good sweat in. But the source material explicitly calls this out as a misconception. Instead of just being a mere workout, yoga is actually this profound science designed to unfold the infinite potentials of the human mind and soul. It's really a journey of self-discovery. And yes, obviously keeping the body strong is a part of it, but keeping the mind calm and unlocking your inner capabilities, that's the ultimate goal here. So I gotta ask you this directly. Is yoga just a workout? Look, if you walked into this explainer thinking the answer was yes, it is time to completely reset your expectations. We're about to lay out a roadmap that goes way, way beyond the physical and really taps into the behavioral, the mental, and the spiritual. So here's our roadmap for today. 1, more than just stretching. 2, the 8 aspects. 3, living the yamas. 4, mindful yogic eating. And finally, 5, putting it into practice. Let's start with section 1, more than just stretching, the true essence of yoga. We're moving beyond the physical here, right into the truly holistic nature of this practice. And whether you're a total beginner just starting to embark on your yogic journey, or you're an experienced practitioner wanting to deepen your knowledge, the core philosophy remains exactly the same. It is all about unifying the mind and the body. It's about unlocking the secrets within yourself and discovering these boundless capabilities you actually already possess, but, maybe just haven't tapped into quite yet. Moving to section 2. The 8 aspects, a map to holistic well-being. Let's look at the foundational philosophy that actually structures this entire practice. The text outlines 8 distinct aspects. You'll often hear these called the 8 limbs of yoga. And notice how they progress. We start with yama, which is social discipline, and niyama, personal discipline. Then we get to asana, which are those physical postures most people immediately associate with yoga. But it doesn't stop there. We move right into pranayama, which is mastery over breath, pratyahara, mastery over senses, dharana, concentration, dhyana, contemplation, and it all culminates in samadhi, which is a blissful experience. It's this really beautiful, steady climb from our external behaviors in society all the way inward to true internal bliss. On to section 3. Living the yamas, social and personal discipline. To really understand how all this applies to our daily life, let's zoom in on the very first 2 aspects, because these basically form the ethical bedrock of the entire journey. Think about it. You can't reach internal bliss if your external life is a total mess. The crucial point here is understanding the difference between how we interact with the outside world versus how we govern our inner selves. So, Yama provides the guidelines for social discipline and ethics, literally how to behave towards others, plants, and animals with kindness. Niyama, on the flip side, is personal discipline. It's how you take care of yourself, how you maintain cleanliness, and how you find inner contentment. Now, within Yama, the text details several specific principles. Let's rapid fire through them, because these aren't just, abstract, lofty ideas. They are daily social actions. First up is satya, which simply means always telling the truth and maintaining your honesty. Next is asteya, which translates to not taking things that don't belong to you. Sounds simple, right? But it's incredibly profound when you actually apply it to every single interaction you have. Building on that, let's see how this ties into energy management. We have brahmacharya, which is all about using your energy wisely and exercising real self-control. And then there's aparigraha, meaning not being greedy and being genuinely happy with what you already possess. It's basically fighting that constant human urge to accumulate more and more stuff. To perfectly ground this concept of aparigraha in reality, the source shares this brilliant historical anecdote. Former Indian Prime Minister Shastri was frequently offered gifts simply because of his high status. His response? He'd say, "I appreciate your kindness, but I cannot accept gifts just because I am the prime minister. I will only buy a sari that fits my budget." He was completely content with whatever he could afford and didn't even think of possessing beyond his basic needs. I mean, that is aparigraha in action at the highest possible levels of leadership. Let's take a quick visual breath here. As we transition away from the social philosophy of the yamas, we're going to start looking toward the physical habits that support our well-being. Because, as it turns out, how you fuel your body is just as important as how you focus your mind. Which brings us to section 4, mindful yogic eating, nourishing the body and soul. According to Ayurveda, which is the ancient Indian medical science, food plays a truly vital role in developing our personality. Yoga doesn't just stop when you roll up your mat, it extends right into your kitchen. Ayurveda gives us this fantastic rule of 3 for developing healthy food habits. Let's make these Sanskrit terms actionable. First is hitabuk, consuming healthy and nourishing food, like fresh, home-cooked meals. Second is metabuk, eating in moderate quantities, making sure you actually taste every single bite rather than just scarfing it down. And third is ritabuk, consuming food according to the season. It's a perfectly balanced, super mindful approach to fuel. To put this into practice, the text outlines a few active, mindful eating habits. And one of the most crucial points here, which is absolutely huge in today's world, is to avoid electronic gadgets like your mobile phone or the TV while you're eating. By eliminating those digital distractions, you foster an actual connection with your food, and, if you're eating with your family, with the people around you. Even volunteering to serve the food builds right back into that social discipline we talked about earlier. And finally, section 5, putting it into practice. Applying yoga right now. Now for the best part, let's take everything we've learned today about focus, discipline, and the mind-body connection and apply it directly. The source material gives us a highly practical, immediate exercise that we can do right this second. Seriously, I want to enthusiastically invite you to actually perform these 3 simple steps with me right now. It's an amazing way to focus the mind and reduce stress. It's called the simple palming procedure. Step 1, rub both of your palms together vigorously until they get nice and warm. Feel that energy? Step 2, cup your warm palms and place them gently over your eyes. Just make sure you don't put any pressure on the actual eyeballs. Step 3, just keep your eyes closed under your hands. Let's hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds. Now, just a few quick safety and posture notes from the text before you open your eyes back up. You should ideally have your glasses and wristwatches removed for this. Make sure you're sitting with your head, neck, and spine totally erect. And please note, if you happen to suffer from severe headaches, you should actually avoid the specific practice. All right, go ahead and gently lift your palms away and open your eyes with a few blinks. Notice how that tiny moment of sensory withdrawal, just a little taste of pratyahara, completely resets your focus. And that brings us to the end of our exploration today. We've seen that yoga is a profound science of the soul, encompassing ethics, diet, breath, and pure focus. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. Beyond just doing a few physical stretches, how will you apply this deep, ancient science to unfold your mind's infinite potential today? Definitely think about that the next time you sit down for a meal or feel stressed out during your day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.